All right, welcome back. So, if you haven't noticed, I removed my most recent live stream, and that's not a problem. I've thrown away a lot of videos in my day, but I took that video down, that live stream, my most recent live stream down, because there was an interruption. There was an interruption during the live stream. Now I saw my OBS monitor during the interruption, and what I saw was two completely black screens. I had two screens up on my monitor, both pitch black. And after a few seconds, it went away, and I went on with the presentation. So after I completed the live stream, I went back to timestamp and remind myself of what I said. And I noticed what happened during that interruption. I wanted to see what y'all saw during that interruption. And there was no black screen. I should have took a screenshot of that. Did any of you see that? If any of you saw that, let me know. There was a warning. I saw a black screen when I went back to watch the video. Some of you may have seen it. When I went back to watch it, that's the first time I saw it. Because I would have ended the live stream right then and there and deleted it. But I caught it and took it down. Though it said something like stream ended for policy violation. It was something like that. It was real brief. One sentence. Stream interrupted for policy violation. It said violation. I'm like, what? What violation? The only thing I had played up until that point was that video of the birds, the cartoon, the animated presentation of parasitism. What is it? Parasitism, however you pronounce it. That cartoon at the beginning. That is all. So I wasn't dealing with I hadn't made a copyright violation. I was doing commentary on this. And this was long after after I paused it twice. So I let it play, paused it twice, did some commentary, and then boom, I get a black screen. But this thing said interrupted for policy violation. But I only saw that when I went back to watch the live stream. I saw a pitch black screen during the live stream. So I don't know what happened. But I'm uncomfortable with a video just sitting up like that. Because maybe, they'll come back, some algorithms or run into it, be like, what is this? Give me a strike. No, I'm not going to take a chance on that. So I'll just do it all over again. And I see that I'm actually public instead of with the members. I do that. I do that. Shout out to everybody. I thought I was with the members once again. I have to remember to set it to members. What are y'all doing up, man? 11 people up? It is 5 o'clock where I am. 5 a.m. Denzel, I think it was Denzel Washington. A reporter asked him, he's asking him some questions. I saw this interview years ago about his own movies. And they asked him, when your movies drop for the first time, like in the movie theater, the reporter asked Denzel if he watches his own movies. And he said he never watches his own movies. That he completes the filming and moves on to the next project. Dead serious. That's what he said. Now, most people, most of us can't imagine that. We think that, of course, actors and actresses watch probably religiously. A lot of people would assume you always watch your own movies. You're the star. You know, see yourself on camera. See how you performed in contrast to your co-host, whatever, your other actors. But I'm telling you right now, I believe them. I believe them. I'm telling you, I've gone stretches, I've gone years without checking my views. Years. I finish a stream and go on about my business. I might go back and listen to a few minutes because I always forget certain things that I've said. I do so much talking, I can't remember what I said after a while. But I went back recently. It was when here recently in the community section, I shared a number of my old videos. It was on that day. When was that? It was on that day that I revisited some of my old videos for the first time in a while. And then a while ago, I took another long break. It's just something I don't do on a regular basis. Where are those videos at? It was like a few days ago, right? Yeah, 4 days ago. But I looked at the views and I thought to myself, why? Now, I have it filtered by most popular first. So the most popular video. It's arranged by popularity. I'm looking at these views and I'm looking at how long ago they were uploaded to YouTube. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, right? 2 years ago. And the videos themselves are the types of videos that get responses from critics. You know, it's not like one of those videos that got like 500 views. You as a prominent person, maybe a YouTuber with a large audience, you wouldn't respond to that. But they had a decent audience or even a good number of views on the video, and you disagreed or felt some kind of way about what they were talking about. And if you strongly disagreed with what they were talking about, you would feel motivated to respond. No doubt about it. If you're a professional and some unprofessional trying to question your credentials and these videos got a good number of views, you respond. They're like, look here, I'm a behaviorist. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't tell me my profession is fraudulent. That's what I've been saying about these people. They have a fraudulent profession. They're not true professionals. Professionals are not based on lies, wild, unproven guesses, information that's not confirmed by statistics. You're not a professional if you're pushing that. The rhetoric they push is refuted by the statistics. We got a serious problem when that happens. Professionals share the statistics and explain to you why they are that way. These professionals seem to pretend to not even know that they exist. The pit bull advocates, the bully breed advocates, they're the worst. That's why I say they're the easiest targets. They try to act like these statistics don't even exist. Their rhetoric is like turning a blind eye to the statistic. And instead, they say that it's all in people's imagination. You're just looking at it as a dangerous dog because it has a block-shaped head. Right? And that's the only reason you're against this dog, is because it has more muscles and it looks vicious. That's why you're saying it's and that's not fair. I mean, it's like a very offensive assumption. Like, you're really assuming that I'm just as brain dead as you are, or beneath you, to say something like that. And then when you bring statistics to them, they pretend that they don't exist. They like don't even speak on it. That's the problem I have with these. Like, they never even try to refute it. And if they do deal with it, they'll say that the statistics are wrong and that pit bulls are not really responsible for that large of a demographic or a percentage of the total dog fatalities. Many of those dogs were other breeds. That's the only comeback that they come with. And that's a shame. We all know their only comeback. And that's the only one they've ever used. They're not all pit bulls. Yes, you say the information says 65% fatalities, 70 are from pit bulls. Yes, they say most people hospitalized are pit bulls, but they're wrong. Some of those dogs were not pit bulls, is what these people, that's the only argument that they have. And we all know that that argument is also flawed. This is why we don't hear from these people. They understand numbers. Y'all hear, you listen to some of these videos, these content creators. They hear the statistics and they ignore them. Not all pit bulls. Now, how do you respond to a pit bull advocate who says that? A pit bull advocate who says that, hey, statistics, those are wrong. Not all of those dogs are pit bulls. What do you say to that? We all know what to say to that. They're all bully breeds, because that's the only thing they're dealing with. When you look at the dogs, when there is a fatality, they usually have an image of the dog. This is fact. When there's a fatality, either they'll have an image of the dog, or there'll be a description of the dog by the media. And they will say it was a pit bull. And every time the media is correct about the dog being a bully breed. Most certainly, you've never heard the media, not one example. If you have, show me an example, because their video or article will still be up. There's not one example where the media said that it was a pit bull that launched the attack and it wasn't a bully breed. That's never happened. Go ahead and look. Take as much time as you need. It never happens. And if you say statistics are wrong, then we should see it happen sometimes. We should see articles or reports where the media says the person was attacked by a pit bull and a German Shepherd prances out. We should see that. We should see St. Bernard's prance out, be brought out, hauled off, or whatever. We should hear a description, and we would have seen the evidence of misidentification of these mutants. Never seen not one example, not one example. You know what that means? That means you're lying. These things are an increased threat. Now, I don't like to draw so much attention to bully breeds, but those are the only ones, the bully breed advocates, pit bull advocates. They're the only ones that congregate. They're the only ones who voice, who try to push the innocence of these things. You know, you don't really see dog lovers out here trying to push the idea that dogs are misunderstood. You know, the bully breed advocates make flagrant lies, like bold-faced, impossible to believe, impossible to co-sign with type of lies that just have to be responded to. It's like, what in the world are you talking about? But all dogs are bloodthirsty. We got to understand that. Some of the worst attacks come from areas where there are no bully breeds. Over there in India, there are bully breeds over there. But a great deal of the attacks that I see, they're carried out by non-bully breeds. This is just the trait of dogs in general. They're just bloodthirsty creatures. Right? So I'm saying what I say about all of them. They all are bloodthirsty. Okay? And still, nobody challenges us. Nobody challenges us. I mean, look at how many videos have tens of thousands of views. Why haven't we heard from at least one credible behaviorist, trainer, veterinarian? We don't see any real objection to anything that I've said. I've not seen anybody really object to any of the content creators. The only thing they do is troll content creators. Chef used to get, I think she still gets, I still get trolled. A few others. Y'all remember Canine Aversion used to get trolled. But that's all they could do. They never wanted to engage us in a real honest and respectful debate. Okay? And I made a point ever since I've been on YouTube to be provocative, to try to provoke some of these people into responding. And when I made these videos, they had a very low number of views. But I've had a strong feeling after a while they'd make the rounds because there wasn't that many people out being brutally honest about these deranged mutants. This was new, generally speaking. It was new to the ears. You had some critics of dog culture, but nobody was really going ham on them. But I understood it was all justified. Right? It was all justified. Looking at how these things are given a green light to slaughter, you know, the most vulnerable in society, to slaughter mercilessly and never have any types of bans put in place, no regulation on ownership, nothing. You know, this opens the door for all types of different theories. I don't bash theories. I welcome theory. You know, intelligent people deal with theories. But when you get credible information behind it, you know, it only makes it a stronger theory. To the point where people who disagree with you don't want to do it openly. And I'm just saying, hey, it's funny. It's funny. But listen, any of you professionals, you start to feel uncomfortable about how dog culture is looking. If you start to feel like the anti-dog culture, and understand, people, the bulk of the anti-dog community is outside of, I feel like it's in dog free. The discussions they have there are just, they're deeper. Okay? I don't really appeal to a lot of nerds, a lot of the nerdy class, but we need the nerdy class. We need content put together in various forms. You know, that's why I like when the nerd class, I don't like that. I mean that in a respectful way, gets on YouTube, because a lot of people don't want to read. That's the only thing I have, even though they do have a lot of subscribers to the Pitbull group and the Dog Free. A lot of people still don't like to read. And you know, you can't read when you're doing things. A lot of people, you know, it's just another form of communication to help spread the word. And in the video format, it's more likely to be recognized by, you know, big people with big platforms. We did have one guy with a huge platform. He did a video about Dog Free. There, yeah, y'all remember that. That video is still up. He had, I think, over 1 million, maybe 1 million subscribers. But man, y'all gonna have to deal with us eventually. We're saying a lot of things. I know y'all don't like hearing this kind of stuff. Y'all been saying the bulk of this thing. We just been responding. You've been calling them family, not us. Y'all the ones all this time have been insisting that these things are family. We haven't been insisting that. Okay? That's another thing. A lot of people want to label me as some type of abusive basher. You come to bash the dog lovers of the... No, you all have been saying things, insisting on things, and you've been endangering us. Let's be real now. Y'all been actually getting us killed. Us meaning people other than the dog's owner. You've been getting your own families killed and mutilated, disfigured. Your neighbors. How many attacks do we go over where the dog belonged to a neighbor? Okay? We're just having important discussions that involve you, where you're the problem and you understand that you are a legit problem and you're just uncomfortable with that. I'd rather you just get rid of the source of the problem, and that's the dog. Okay? Y'all have been doing a lot of things behind closed doors with these things. Let's have some real talk tonight, this morning. Y'all been doing a lot of questionable things with these mutants behind closed doors. And you know what that's done? It has caused a lot of diseases and other types of infections, bacteria, viral, parasitic, to spread from animals to humans. There have been some STDs that have been zoonotic. You've been putting us at risk doing the things that you do behind closed doors. And who knows how much of a factor these things are in the overall health of human beings. I've always, and I still do suspect, that dogs play the biggest role in human illness. I don't think we'd be coughing and sniffling and laid up, feeling like we're about to die nearly as often, if at all, if these worthless mutants were not here. It's going to be a blackout video. I'm going to change the thumbnail all black to signify the end of this goofy, disgusting abomination of a culture. I wish it were possible to bury this in history, where history doesn't remember this era of human beings. And it's troubling. The more people's not embarrassed to live in this era. I'm embarrassed. And I'm going to be one of the voices that spoke against it. See, I'm striving for perfection. That's how I do my own self. A lot of people think it's a big deal that I don't eat nothing but green leafy vegetables and fruit. I don't think it's a big deal at all. It's just food. All you need is something to put in your stomach, and it tastes good. Yeah, now shut up. You don't need all this other nonsense. It's called discipline. You better figure out how to like whatever it is that's good for you. Even if you don't like it. Are you kidding? I'd love to eat pizza and still be healthy. To not have it work against my health. I'd be eating it right now. I'm telling you now. If burgers wasn't unhealthy, I'd be eating them right now. I'm telling you now. I'd still be eating that food over the fruit and vegetables that I'm eating right now. I went to this diet for health. It's the responsible thing to do. I'm not going to wait till I'm 60, some doctor messing around with me, telling me, oh, I need to change I'll go ahead and do it now. And y'all just got to rub on dogs? And you willing to sacrifice your whole society just to rub on dogs, huh? Okay, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Y'all been getting people hurt, disfigured, permanently disfigured. You've been getting us sick, contaminating our water, contaminating the air we breathe, our ears. Okay, the number of people who've been kept up at night, innumerable. And you've been lying all this time about the behavior of these things, claiming that they love us and that they're happy, right? And if they walk up to us and start sniffing on us, that they're being friendly, when the truth is that they're obsessed with food because they're so disgusting. And that's literal. That's literal. They're obsessed with food because of the parasites. They're riddled with so many parasites. When you're born with parasites, good Lord, that is the filthiest of all filth on the earth. You see, the anti-dog community, we refer to these things as filthy. That signals evolution. Because that's what they are. You're born with parasites. And again, I don't say stuff for shock value. I do suspect. I think it's hard to deny that the parasites have an effect on people's minds and the way they behave. That's a normal thing for parasites to do. I showed y'all that, just look it up. There's believed to be hundreds of different parasites that manipulate your mind and behavior. Right? This is serious. Psychologists, people, look forward to seeing it in the future. They may wait until I'm dead. This might happen long after I'm gone, long after we're gone. Maybe this generation, there's going to be plenty of more of us though. But I believe we're going to inspire or influence and produce psychologists who are going to come out and tell the truth. Say the same things that we've been saying. That's what I believe. Okay, I'm just sharing I'm always trying to predict the future. And this oxytocin nonsense. They tried to go hard with that. And to this day, you'll hear every now and then they'll try to bring it up. Look at all the little shenanigans they've tried to pull over the years. We're just questioning them. You'll try to say, oh, oxytocin, dogs really do love. Y'all been trying to humanize these things to the point of bringing them into public places. People have been attacked because y'all brought them to, the man just brought his dog into a store. I just made that video not long ago, uploaded on this channel right here. I think, right? Right here. This doofus right here brought that dog into a little it looked like a gas station. The number of people been attacked from y'all hauling these mutants around in society, you can't count it. The truth is, y'all have been a lethal problem for a long time. People have been terrorized by dog owners for a long time. I mean, literally, like to the point where these people saying they don't even want to come outside. What if that's not being terrorized? What is it? And at the same time, these people claiming to be the pillars of society with high morals, who love and have a bigger heart than everybody else in society, and anybody who don't like dogs is evil. Oh, you don't trust nobody who don't like dogs? What? Y'all been taking it there, not us. Then you had this movement of dogs are better than people. It's still going. Come on in here. Let's have a real discussion, dog lovers. And shout out to the dog people. It's a number of them who come to the channel. They're being respectful. Hey, welcome. You're welcome to chime in. You know, people have been scared to come outside. All kinds of different types of issues have come about from dog culture. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that Parasite video over. I'm gonna do it over because it's too deep. I'm still pondering over it. I'm still looking up parasites, how they function, and all of that. This is real because I strongly suspect that there's truth in that. Parasites, at the end of the day, are organisms just like all the rest of us, right? Right? And the fact is, what you see is no different from a parasitic infection. Is that right? Like literally, dogs function exactly like parasites, in different forms of parasites at that, to the extent of eliminating your real offspring. They almost have an instinct to attack kids. Many times on site, I know many of you listening to this bear witness, you've seen it before. You've seen dogs, as soon as they see a kid, try to attack them. Y'all hold classes on it. That's how common it is. Many dog trainers offer classes for that very same issue. I showed that video of that trainer. They had dogs in there lined up. They had to hold them dogs back to keep them from mauling some kid they had in there. Y'all been praising these things as angels and the most glorious thing in society. Oh yeah, you have. Yes, you have. Talking about how you'll save a dog before you'll save a person. Y'all said some real nasty things over the decades. I'm not harassing y'all. I'm a voice responding to all the abuse you've given us over the decades. That's what this is. That's what this is. Look at how much of our resources y'all have wasted on these things. An absolute fortune. Y'all have wasted enough money to build an entire nation. Military and all. Just out the window. Nothing to show for it except dead humans. Nothing to show for their existence. Don't nothing else show from their existence other than dead people. People with nasty infections. Passing around unsightly mutts on social media. They don't leave businesses, no inventions, no nothing. This is supposed to be an evolution of human beings. Like I said, it's irrefutable that without these things, we'd evolve. We'd evolve instantly. They're directly working against our evolution, even on a financial level. We build wealth, we build houses, we die, somebody else can buy them. Same with our vehicles, our inventions. You know how many, even my job, there are machines, there's equipment right now at my job that I literally drew about 5 years ago. I drew it and they built it just like I drew it and still using it to make money. Only gave me like $50. They're going to be making money off that long after I'm gone. That's what humans do. That's the whole idea of evolving and investing in your own species. Y'all spending money on dog strollers, dog food. You're just dumping. You're keeping us from evolving. These are all my arguments. Any dog lover or whatever you are, psychologist, teacher, whatever, you disagree, go ahead. Go ahead. I welcome your disagreement. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Look at how much has had to be said. Look at how much has had to be said. And it's all really in response to what they be saying. That you demonized children. This could have been me. Many of these kids has been munched up. Let me use code word. Youngins. Let me call them youngins. Has been chomped on. That could have been me. All because y'all want to be goofy. And it's against the law. Most importantly, and for any law people, it's against the law. Y'all, everybody knows dogs violate the reckless endangerment law. Anybody in law disagree with that? Let me hear from you. I've been waiting on somebody to question me on that. Nobody. That's the one thing I've never seen anybody even try to challenge. Nobody's even made an attempt. That's a bold statement. I'm saying everybody with these things in the house, if you got a house, you got kids, you're breaking the law. And it's important to point that out because that should be an avenue to reduce the dog population, and it's not. So let's talk about it. Maybe y'all feel like y'all know the law better than me, better than us. You've been contaminating our water. No telling what we've been drinking over the decades. Dog waste, polluted water. A bunch of dog lovers, dozens, maybe hundreds, signed a petition 4 years ago, lying on a 4-year-old who had his arm bitten off by a dog. And y'all made a petition to save the dogs. And the petition said that the 4-year-old was teasing the dog. Went upstairs, put a sock over his arm, went back downstairs, went outside, stuck his arm under a fence to play with a dog he couldn't even see. And that the dog bit his arm off because the dog didn't know what it was because he had a sock over his arm. A bunch of y'all signed a petition to say, many of you knew that was a lie. You signed it anyway. You didn't say nothing. Then the one who created it came out and confessed. Y'all got to answer for stuff like this. Who demonizes babies? Y'all literally have done that. Toddlers. That is insane. I'd rather not even deal with a subject like this. But it's so insane, I would be immoral not to call it out. Like, what are you smoking? Like, What form of drugs are you on? Lord. Okay? The dog madness does not, I'm telling you, it just does not hold up to scrutiny. The people, how many attacks have taken place in apartment complexes? Y'all have terrorized apartment complexes for decades. Countless people mauled, disfigured, and killed in apartment complexes. You made it risky for people who want to have an apartment. How many people in homes had to deal with their neighbor's dog? You terrorized whole communities, whole blocks with these dumb mutants. We've had attacks in buses, trains, subways. Mayhem, chaos, because of these dumb mutants. Y'all want to haul around everywhere. Can't even go to the store. Hear a man in a wheelchair want to go to the store, gets mutilated. All because y'all want to play dumb and pretend these things is harmless or ain't gonna attack nobody. Y'all had this, and I'm not even gonna show that, man. This crazy, nasty, immoral culture of leaving these breed of dog that was bred to kill, that kills the same youngins that you constantly pair them up with, and you leave them with these dogs that were bred for fighting and killing. And the dogs are currently attacking and killing those youngins. And y'all just keep doing it. As Sheepy, the guest on Animal Uncontrol's channel, said, a toy that injures a kid even slightly, especially if it killed, say, 5 kids, man, that toy would be demonized. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Was responsible for the death of the slow death of 5 youngins, their youngins? Do you think that toy would remain on the? There's no way. In your dreams, the only way people could be hypocrites like that and not apply the same standards as if something's going on in your brains. So the idea, there's a lot of valid theories out there. But as far as the parasites, listen, it's too similar for me. They instantly try to delete the children, and it's for competition, for food. Listen, you don't play around with creatures where the only thing they know is food, and that's their only motivation. Dog is not it's not watching movies. They're not reading books. They're not doing nothing else. They don't have nothing else to do but look for something to eat and attack. It don't take no brains to function in the world like that, where you're only preoccupied with eating and attacking. Creatures like that think totally different from humans. You think you're dealing with a happy dog. You're dealing with a dog that's begging for food, looking at you as a dummy, an idiot, treating you as if it's a parasite, trying to get resources out of you. And I think it's credible that they've evolved certain traits, like with their eyebrows, or maybe even, I know, behavior. The behavior of dogs to walk up to people and violate their person, start sniffing all over them, which is really all they do, and focus on your hands, is because they've evolved to understand we give them food. If every time they did that, we shocked them with electricity, some maybe a lightning bolt struck them, they wouldn't walk up to us like that. Right? Like if we did something to them, if we attacked them, every time they walked up to us, they wouldn't be walking up to us like that. Very easy to believe they evolved that behavior and a bunch of other behaviors. They mention how, especially with bully breeds, they'll pretend to not be aggressive with you to get you to let your guard down and then attack you. I've actually had that happen to me when I was a kid. A dog was sort of acting friendly and passive. And when I got so close, it bared its teeth and lunged at me, but it was behind the fence. They do that. Sound like a parasite to me, trying to delete you. Right? Eliminate competition. But man, look at how they just leech resources, food, and literal money from humans, and there's nothing to show for it. That's like the parasite of humans, isn't it? There's nothing to show for it other than dead people, disfigured people. That's the only thing these things leave behind. They don't leave behind nothing positive. All you dog, where are you at? I object to everything dog culture stand for. They don't leave nothing behind but turmoil. And it's time to talk about it. Y'all playing games in the media. There's journalists who follow us. They follow all of y'all playing games right now. You better stop playing games. Okay? The truth is real. You got to deal with it. These things are worthless mutants. We're better off without them. That's a fact. My belief that all world governments should drive them into extinction. They should all agree to drive them into extinction is credible. I can show you. I can prove that we'll benefit. Dogs leave behind nothing but dead people, disfigured people. Humans leave behind wealth, knowledge. Right? The anti-dog community. The producer or creator of dogsbite.org, that website will still be here, educating people long after they're gone. Dogs don't leave nothing like that. Enlightening people, waking people up. All of our platforms still be here long after we're gone. And even when the internet breaks, we've already influenced people. And they're going to keep influencing other people. The spirit is already there. So y'all going to have to deal with it. Face the music. I don't want to make this too long. This is, or it was, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's going on 6 o'clock. That was fast. Shout out to Tony Snow in the super chat. Said, where can we send you video clips of dogs proving you right? I got a clip of a woman with her kid and a dog getting robbed. And dog did nothing. Wow. Try to post it, especially if it's on YouTube. You can post it in the comment section. I'll check to make sure. It might get filtered with like spam, then I'll approve it. But it shouldn't get filtered. And you could try to Twitter. Try to Twitter if it can be in a video format, or my email. Right? What's my email? Somebody share my email. I'll share it in the comment section. Most definitely. I got to check my Twitter too for Yusuf Mamba. I still haven't checked yet. I'm going to check that. Apparently he sent me some stuff. Yeah, dog lovers, I'd love to hear from you. All right? I'm not trying to bully you because listen, society is a better place without them. That's a fact. And it's getting scary right now. We're seeing some crazy, otherworldly infections coming from these mutants. Now at the time to be playing with these nasty things. Again, we really don't know what's behind many of these issues, these little infections going around. You're always better safe than sorry. Man, so shout out to everybody. Hope y'all have a good Sunday. Beware of these raggedy mutts. And hopefully their owners will snap out of it. And we can get to evolving. And I'll chop it up with you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.